What's up guys? We are the Group 3 Enthusiyamtic. In today's video, we will discuss the classification of motor skills.
We humans always wanted to engage ourselves into different kinds of things that we wanted to do or experience. This is what we call action. So what is action? Action is the ability to perform successfully or efficiently that is done or needs to be done in a long period of time. So what are the examples of action? The examples of actions are cooking, cleaning, and dancing.
Movement is the act or procedure of moving, particularly a change in location, stance, or position.
Let's move on to the motor skills. The physical performance of a movement is referred to as motor skills. A motor skill is a capability that entails the exact coordinated movement of muscles with the intention of carrying out a certain action. In order to achieve the goal of skill, you must be learned or relearned. For instance, playing a piano is an example of motor skill because it involves voluntary body and or limb to accomplish the task.
Have you ever wondered why do we need to identify a specific motor skills that should be developed to make a more precise and accurate motions? At this point, we're going to discuss the 4 domains of the one-dimension classification of motor skills. So first on the list, we have size, primary musculature required. Under this domain, we have 2 categories, including gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Some of us are often confused about the difference between the gross and the fine motor skills. Today, I'm going to discuss about the difference between the gross and fine motor skills. So for gross and fine motor skills, it is important to know that both of these motor skills are different from each other, but closely linked together. Gross motor skills are those which require whole body movements, particularly the large core stabilizing muscles of the body to perform everyday functions. Gross motor skills are when children learn to make movements with all of their muscles and joints. So it's things like walking, crawling, running, jumping, and climbing, and anything where they need to use all of their muscles and limbs in a coordinated way. Oftentimes, gross motor skills are related to their core strength. So how strong their trunk muscles are, can they sit up straight, do they have a good control and coordination to run, jump, and climb, and do that in a way that is coordinated. Fine motor skills, on the other hand, it involves the small muscles of the body, like hands, fingers, and wrist. Fine motor skills are built on your own gross motor skills. Often, in order to have a good quality, strong fine motor skills, you need to have solid gross motor skills. So for fine motor skills, it's really how they use the smaller muscles in their hands to coordinate doing more precise and accurate motions. And to sum up everything, gross and fine motor skills play a crucial part in our bodies. Because as we develop these motor skills, we learn how to coordinate and control our body movement.
In specifying where action begins and end elements, there are 3 domains, which are the discrete skills, serial skills, and continuous skills. First one is the discrete skills. Discrete skills is a recognizable task with a clear beginning and end. For example, tennis serve. Tennis serve is a discrete skills example because it has definite beginning and end. Serial skills, a task that is composed of a series of discrete tasks and should be amenable to partitioning or part-task training. For example, dunking a ball. Dunking a ball is basically an example of a series skills where you have to take a series of movements in specific order in order to dunk a ball. Continuous skills is a skill that has no recognizable beginning and end. For example, swimming. Basically, the reason why swimming is an example of continuous skills is because when you swim, for example, you are doing a freestyle. In order for you to get to the finish line, you've got to do the repetition of movements. It became an example of continuous skills because you have to deal with the external factors such as the whistle, the crowd, and your opponent.
Stability of the environment as an open motor skill and closed motor skill. Open motor skill. It takes a place in an unstable and unpredictable environment or an object or the surrounding circumstances dictate when to start the action in short changing environment. For example, basketball, pass, break. Closed motor skill, it is carried out in a stable or the performer chooses when to in a predictable environment initiate the action in short changing environment. For example, a golf.
The importance of cognitive skills. Cognitive skills is extremely important because it will help you to read, learn, to pay attention, and to think and remember. These skills help process incoming information and distribute it to the appropriate areas of the brain.
Alright, the two-dimensional classification system of motor skills, it has one domain, which is the Gentile's classification system. Anthony Gentile is the author of Gentile taxonomy. The Gentile taxonomy suggested can be used by trainers and instructors to teach motor skills, as well as by physical therapists in their clinical practices. The following are included in the taxonomy. Let's say our example is a squat exercise.
Body orientation. Let's first specify the action requirements. This is the first thing that will take either body transportation or body stability. The proper response is body stability because, as can be observed in the video, he maintains his position while performing. Therefore, yes for body stability and no for body transportation. All of this column will be crossed out.
The second thing that you will take is to classify the manipulation if the performer uses any object, partner, or opponent. You observe that he didn't use any tool or object in doing the squats. So the answer is there is no object manipulation. And then you will cross out the column of object manipulation.
The third thing that you must do is to classify the regulatory conditions. You'll notice that there are no changes in the surroundings or no individuals he encounters. You determine if our regulatory conditions are fixed regulatory conditions. Therefore, you see that nothing has changed because it's the same, and then cross out the regulatory conditions since the answer is fixed regulatory conditions.
Let's move on to the intertrial variability. The intertrial variability is the last thing to get the final answer. It will define from the second or third attempt until the end attempt. That will be compared to the first attempt. If there's no changes, the answer is absent. And when something changes in the second, third, until the last attempt, that will be present. As you can see in the video, it demonstrates that there is no changes in the second attempt compared to the first attempt. Therefore, the answer is absent or no trial variability, and then you will cross out this. Finally, we got the final answer. According to Gentile, the classification of squat is 1A. We hope that you enjoyed and learned something new with our discussion. Thank you for watching. Keep safe and God bless. Bye!